Hello, welcome to the Desitdown Sports, the States of APW right here out of the sport, where we get professional in the sporting world to take us through their journey and life in the career in the sporting world. Welcome, my name is still Michael Young. Now on the program today, we have a great personality in the sporting world with us on the live state of interview. He's one of Nigerian top cruiserweight boxer. He has won numerous medals, both locally and internationally. That's not all. When it comes to the ring, it's known as Nigerian Big Bull. So help me and welcome Efetobor Wesley Apochi. Thanks for joining us right here at the Desitdown Sports.
Thank you, Mike, man. I'm extremely pleased to be here.
When I'm going through your biography and everything, something caught my attention. Now, I'm talking about you read microbiology in the university, and now you're a professional boxer. So, at what point was the transformation from being a microbiologist and becoming a professional boxer? Can you take us through that journey?
Back in Nigeria, from the society we're born in, the first thing is go to school, get a job and become somebody in life and stuff like that, So I really like biology, I was studying industrial microbiology, then the boxing dream, this whole boxing career came in late. Like I never had a plan of becoming a boxing champion when I was growing up as a child.
Okay.
I was already 21 years old before I thought about boxing. So I was going through this DSTV magazine and, I saw Mike Tyson and I was like, I think I can be like this guy. And that was how I switched. So it has nothing to do with what I studied in school and how I became a boxing champion. The whole boxing dream came very late. Like I said, I was already 21 years old when I thought about becoming a boxer. There's really no relation.
Okay, but do you ever practice the microbiology you read in the university?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I was never going to work for anybody anyway. I've always wanted to create my own job and be my own boss and do my own thing. I never had a dream. I think I was studying industrial microbiology for my mother. But she's the one who will ring it down and say, everybody must go to school, everybody must become a graduate. Stuff like that. It was never for me. It was just a family. It was just a family thing. Everybody's going to school, go to school. Everybody's graduating, stuff like that.
All right, now that brings my next question. We have different sports. We have the football, we have the track and field events. So why do you pick boxing particularly?
I was a natural fighter anyways. I already had like 700 street fights for boxing if I saw the glow for the first time. Wow. You can already tell like it's a natural thing. I was born in a society where it's more or less like survival of the fittest. You have to be tough to be relevant in the kind of society I came from, in the Delta State, Nigeria. You must be a tough child to succeed in a place like that. So I was already a natural born fighter. My mother gave birth to 4 boys, and we're all like, grow up together and it's all fighting. So I was a natural fighter. I wouldn't lie to you. Natural fighter, fighting is like my nature. Before I decided to switch and say, okay, let's fight and make some money instead of just fighting for free. So that's really how it came up. The fighting was already in me.
Okay. Now we know that boxing demands physical and mental strength. So what does your daily training routine looks like?
We started from zero. I always tell people I started from 0%. I grew up in a place where there's no gym, there's no equipment. It's just a local stadium. We constructed our own ring. Me and my coach Mark Okoro and the rest of the fighters back then. We constructed our own ring, our own punching bags. First of all, we used tires. Then, we invested and get some bags. So it was all local. We trained outside the rain and the sun. If the sun is too hot, you are there. If the rain is too heavy, the training closed for that day. And, it was all local. And I keep telling people, I say, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how early or how late you start. Everything is possible. And that was the motivation. I felt like everything was possible, and You know, we did it even when friends and family and other people were telling me, "Oh, you're too old. I don't think you're gonna make it." You know, like they weren't discouraging me from their own start point of view, but they were just for their reality. They were thinking, "Oh, why don't you do something else? Like it's too late to be a boxer and stuff like that." But I just kept going. You know, kept pushing. I really had no motivation. I wouldn't lie to you. There was no motivation in the sense that I didn't see anybody who have done it before, and I say, "Oh, I want to be like that guy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There might be some people, but I don't know anybody who have done it, who have boxed, you know, like who became a boxer and went somewhere from really. I don't know anybody like that. I know people who tried to ball, but they didn't like, you know, take it to the next level. Like my uncle, Jones, he did it before. My uncle's cousin, Tony O'Harris, did it also, but they didn't just like a state level and all. So I know them to be boxers, but you know, like they didn't go international or try to make a career out of it. So I really didn't know anybody who I look up to and say, okay, this guy's opened the way. I want to follow this path. So it was like a blind dream. It's just inspiration from my own, you know, from my own mind. Just like I said, my dad was a Mike Tyson fan, and my dad would always make us watch boxing a lot. So I grew up seeing my dad watching boxing, and you know that's where the whole boxing came from. It was not. It was not a childhood dream. It was not something. Just inspiration from DSTV magazine. You know, seeing Mike Tyson's picture and watching those highlights. Like, hey, I can do that.
All right. Now we know that every athlete faces setbacks, like let's say like injuries, losses, or self-doubt. So what's been your toughest challenge so far in your wrestling career, and how did you overcome it?
Well, what can I say? Yeah. You know, I would say I don't want to say challenges. Then it looked like a challenge to me, but you know, our mind creates everything. You know, and everything happening in our life is created by our thoughts for the next evolution, for our own evolution. So I want to say these are tough times. I just think these are a breakthrough time. You know, when I lost my first fight, I didn't lose that fight. You know, even Lennox Lewis came to me after the fight and shook my hand and said, "Hey, that was a great fight," but I thought it was draw. You know, the fight with Glanton. Lennox Lewis told me, say he thought it was draw. You know, and for me and my spirit, I know I didn't lose that fight because I fought a great fight. And when they announced the winner, and I said like, is that it? You know, so I went back home, I did some self-reflection, watched the fight over again, saw some little things I could do better and stuff like that, you know. So I want to call it a setback. I think they are all stepping stone. You know, if you are very conscious, you understand what I'm saying. It's not, I hurt my shoulder. It wasn't even a setback. You know, that prepared me to be a different person because after the shoulder surgery, when I came back, you know, I was better. So sometimes these things we call setbacks are really stepping some springboard to the next level in your evolution of your life journey. You know, so I will not say oh it was tough because I was confused a little bit like why me, why now? Then when you take a deep breath and you know have a self reflection, then you will see the path. Just like the saying, God make a way when there seems to be no way. You know, you might think, oh, it's finished. Oh, what can I do now? But no, it's just another door opening for a different path in life. I don't really take anything as setback. You know, we have to develop this mindset of everything is happening for you and nothing is happening to you. That means we are not a victim, we are creators. You know, I always tell my people we are creators, we are not victims. And if we start taking responsibility for the things happening in our life, then we will understand why they're happening and where they're taking us to. But I had some setback, like you said, but I didn't see them like a setback. I see them like, you know, like a time for self-reflection, you know, because if I never had those, I wouldn't know who I really am by now. And I was confused when I became a professional fighter. I didn't know much about boxing. You know, I was trying to learn from what I'm seeing from my own life experience. Because no, like I said, I didn't have anybody ahead of me who could tell me, oh, this is how it is and this is how, you know, stuff like that. Or like a Jagba. A Jagba is my boy, you know, like before Ajagba came to join us in boxing, I already went international. I already represented Nigeria.
Okay.
And so I was like an idol to him. Like I opened the door and say, hey, we can pass through. You know, so I did it, and he said, oh, maybe he can do it too. But like me, there was nobody who have done it and make me feel like I could do it. So it was all blind dream. And when all these things were happening to me, you know, I was confused at the moment, but I took them as a stepping stone for growth. So I wouldn't say they're setback. You know, me losing the fight is not a setback because I knew in my head I've never truly lost the fight. And that fire is still burning in me. And that's why I'm still hitting the gym today. That is why I'm still training today, because the fulfillment. You know, when they beat you in boxing, your spirit gets broken and you decide if you want to continue or you want to stop. For me, I've never truly been beaten. I'm the guy they avoid in boxing. My 3 fights that I lost was all by the judges. And we all know how that goes. You know, in boxing, when you are fighting from the B side, you are fighting against the referee, you are fighting against the judges and the promoter and all of that. I never had a promoter until Chris Martin show up for me. So, yeah.
So now, please, can you share a time when the fight didn't go as planned? What went wrong, and what lessons from that setback change your direction?
The fight I have, my first loss was 3 weeks notice. They called me 3 weeks to the fight, and I said, okay, I'll take it. And I didn't have time for sparring and, you know, all that full time preparation and all that. You know, that was a setback for me. I will always advise any fighter, before you go for any fight, make sure you prepare your body, make sure you train your body and prepare your body for the fight, because, you know, it's gonna affect you if you don't prepare. You know, so I felt the lack of preparation for my first loss. And my second loss was just, and it was a nightmare, man, because I didn't miss the fight. I beat this guy from round 1 to round 8, and they announced him. Like, well, I think I don't have anybody, you know, by my side. I don't have a promoter. I don't have anybody by my side who can, you know, who can push for me. So I think all those things made me be the chef promoter that I am today, and the person that I am today. You know, things happen for you. Things are not happening to you. So all those things happen for me to be the guy I am today. I'm still very dangerous. The most dangerous cruiserweight in the world is Efetobor Apochi to this day. I'm the one they avoid. You know, no promoter will want to fight me because I've beaten them many times. You know, even from the B side. You know, and my motivation why I'm still boxing and I'm still training and I still have my dreams, because nobody have truly beaten me. So my spirit is intact. My spirit is intact, and I know exactly where I am.
Okay, now you made mention of a promoter. So, what role does the promoter play in a boxing ring, or what that function? Did that have a big role to play?
Without a promoter, it is difficult to be a world champion. It is difficult to be a champion without a promoter. You know, the promoter pays for the sanction fees, for the belts. The promoter organizes the show. You know, they pay for everything. They pay for everything. The promoter literally does the show for his fighter, not for the opponent. Yeah, so the promoter does the show for his fighter. I don't have a promoter, so I'm fighting against them. That's why if you check my box rec, you're going to see 13 win, 13 knockout. You know what that means?
Yeah.
It means you can only win by knockout. You cannot win by decision. Because when the fight go the distance, the promoter takes it. Because he spent the money for the fight.
Okay.
So I've won every fight by KO. And the only 3 times the fight went the distance, they have to take it. Not because they beat me, but because it is their show and because they spend the money. So they don't want to lose. So the promoter is the one who organizes the show. You know, he gets his favorite referee and his favorite judges to, you know, to do stuff like that. I shouldn't say this on but it is what it is. It's been like this forever.
Okay, no, you're not an international boxer, and you built a very strong personal brand and a boy. What was the pivotal movement or event in your life that set you on this path?
What can I say? Is life experience for it. Everything I'm telling you, I'm not speaking from a book. I'm speaking from my own book, from my own life experience. You know, one time I was a Ugele local boxer. I became Ugele champion. I became Delta State champion. I became Nigerian champion. Went to the All African Games and won medals. Gone to the World Championship, Commonwealth Games. All these life experiences what will actually build the ground and the experience I have today in boxing. I've been there, I've seen it, and I've done all that. I think that's really what builds ground and career is your experience, your life experience, the things you've done, and the things you're still doing.
Now you won a lot of medals, the Commonwealth, numerous medals to your accolade. Now, which of these, winners that means a lot to you? That anytime you look at it, you are full of the you're very happy about it. Which of that?
Oh, see, all things are past one, all things become new. I don't really look the past. If not for you, I wouldn't be talking about all this thing. I live in the now, which is eternity, and I look with wonders at the future. Right now, I'm a world ranked fighter. I'm an elite fighter. By my own ranking, understanding, and my own status. And I'm looking forward to. I'm a cruiserweight champion right now. I'm looking forward to fight another champion. Maybe intercontinental champion. WBC, IBM, WBO, WBA. I'm looking forward to all these games. This is what I'm really looking forward to. What is next and what is next and what is next, not what has passed. Sometimes we focus too much on what has passed and we're not going anywhere instead of focusing on, what is next. Like Dr. Joe Dispenza would say, if you're not defined by a vision of the future, you are less in memory of the past. So I'm really defined by a vision of the future, and I'm looking forward to a title shot, which is coming anytime soon, and I'm just getting ready and preparing for that. We're presently fighting a championship fight, and we're waiting for the opportunity to come.
Let's talk about your boxing style and career. How has it been so far in the industry? Because we have a lot of people, they have the style of boxing. So how do you see your own style of boxing and how it has evolved over the years?
Oh yeah, it's like I call it the wicked madness boxing style. Which people really don't understand. It's offense and defense. You know what I mean? Or defense and offense. Boxing is a noble act of self-defense using the offense, and that's what we do. I'm a short opponent in the cruiserweight heavyweight division, so I don't stay outside. I can box outside, but I really don't stay outside. I like to come forward. I like to move my head side to side. I like to beat your body and beat your head. You go with the jab. I always close them with the jab, double jab, one jab, and move my head side to side to make sure nothing comes back at me. Just that's it's really the Mike Tyson style that I'm trying to get out refined to my own pattern. So yeah, that's really my style. I call it wicked madness boxing style.
Interesting. So are there specific championships or collaborations or platforms you are aiming for currently?
I fought on DAZN, I fought on Showtime, fought on Fox, PBC, Pro Box TV. I've really been around. I've been around every platform in boxing. So I'm just looking for opportunity to get a real title shot. Mostly when it's going to be fair. Like I want to be in the Ring Magazine cards. Those cards are very fair when judges are not biased, and and the results are really fair. So I'm looking forward to get in touch with the Saudi Arabia guy, the man who saved boxing, Mr. Senator Toki Alashik. He's the one that I've been drawing his attention to make him see me. And somebody's out there, let's try him out and let's see exactly what it's all about. Because I've never truly been beaten. Like I said, I might have lost the fight in the box rec, but I've never truly been beaten. No man has beaten me. Only 2 judges beat me all the time. No fighter has truly beaten me, and that's my motivation to me, and that's what I'm looking up to. DAZN, I want to fight on DAZN because DAZN is like is the world leading platform of boxing right now. All the promoters are out there, so I really want to fight on DAZN, and I want to fight. I want to fight for the IBF Ring Magazine World title if they will give me the opportunity, because I've beaten the guy before, Joe Pitaya. I beat him in the Commonwealth Games 2014 in Glasgow. We met at the quarterfinal, and I beat him. So I really think he's the number one cruiserweight right now. I have my opportunity with him again. We can get a rematch and I'll beat him again.
All right. Okay, now I'm talking about nutrition-wise when it comes to boxers. Are there particular food you eat, things you don't eat, and all that to keep fit as a boxer?
I eat nature. I try to eat nature, like, the ingredients, food, you know what I mean? When I pick up a
Yeah.
food from the chef and I start saying ingredients, like I start saying, it throws me off because those are really not my food. I try to eat directly from nature. I don't like to eat man-made. You know what I mean? There's so many man-made food out there in stores, in chef of different stores. I really don't eat those. I try to eat nature as possible. You know, plants, fish, meat. Direct. I eat direct from life. When you make the food up like juice, drink, soda, I really don't drink those. I don't eat. I don't eat like Indomie, spaghetti. These are man-made food. You know what I mean? I don't eat those. I eat rice, I eat beans, tortilla, potato. I eat vegetables. You know, nature. All my food is nature. So I try to go with nature. I don't really take vitamins that much. I really don't take vitamins. I don't do all that protein shake and all that. I don't know where it came from.
Okay.
I don't know if I eat there's a plant. I say this is a protein shake plant. I might go pluck that plant and want to use it. But when it comes from the lab, it's really difficult, for somebody like me to put this stuff in my body. So I eat only nature. All my foods are natural.
Those that are starting out, those the ones that starting the boxing career, that are fitting
Yeah.
out or like low reach or comparison, what advice will you give to them that you have given yourself earlier when you started your career?
I really think number one is self-belief. You have to believe in yourself because if you don't believe in yourself, you have no right to ask anybody to believe in you. So you have to believe in yourself. And when I say self, we have to know who self is. Your divine, wonderful human imagination. You have to think about something and be that thing. You have to think about something and believe your thought into being, because that's what we're doing here. If you let somebody make you feel that way, then you might be creating that. So you need to have a self-belief in yourself, what you really want first, then go for that. Believe that, you know, it's not a blind belief, but believe I can do it. Like when I started boxing, everybody thought I couldn't do it. Both family and friends and people, you know, they thought I couldn't do it. I believed in myself and I said, I've seen this going. I've been to the future and I'm back. I know exactly what I saw. So I would advise everybody self-believe. Only you can do it. Nobody can do it for you. If you don't have it here, you can never have it here. You have to believe in the God in you, because that's the only God that can do it. There's no God out there. When I tell people that, and people don't find it funny, but there's no God out there. Your body is the temple of the living God, and this God is in you, which is your own thought, imagination, and you have to believe in that. So you have to believe in what you can do and go out there and do it without listening to nobody.
Now, talking about family support, when you started boxing, do you have that much support you have from your family or from your friends?
Of course, like, yeah, my dad, my mom, everybody would, like, people would support you, like praying and all that. My dad's financial support. My dad gave me a lot of financial support. My mom gave me a lot of spiritual prayer support, family like that. But that's not all. There was no really, oh my goodness, like I said, I didn't see anybody that I look up to. My coach, my grassroots coach Mark, gave me a lot of support too, because he gave me all his time. He was dedicated, and I think he is the main reason why, I could do what I'm doing today, because he gave me all his time. Time is everything. And when you have a coach who is dedicated and wants to do this, that's the only way you can do it. If the fighter wants it and the coach doesn't want it, it's hard. And if the coach wants it and the fighter don't want it, it's hard. But if both of them want it, it's key. So me and my coach, we're really a good team, Coach Mark. We started and he gave me all his time and he was always there, present, and and he really helped me out. My mom, of course, she helped with the prayers and all the spiritual church activity and all that. My dad helped a lot with finance. My dad financed me a lot. He will make sure I go to every tournament, even if Delta State is not going, he's going to give me money to go by myself. Do you know actually my first tournament ever, I went by myself without a state, without anybody,
No.
without no state. Delta State wasn't going to that tournament. There was no sponsorship, nothing. My dad sponsored me personally, and I went to that tournament by myself. Look for a coach out there to help the corner and stuff like that. So yeah, somehow I had all this support.
I must say you're very lucky to have family backing because not everyone will have family backing at the starting stage of their career when it comes to sports. Because some parents believe in professionals and work white collar job, be the office, do this and do that. I must say you were very lucky, trust me.
Yeah, the good thing is I didn't start boxing when I was a child. You remember that? Yeah, I didn't know. Nobody gave me a baseline and say, "Hey, why don't you become this? Oh, you're very stubborn. Why don't you become that?" I started boxing when I was already 21 years old. And you already know what that means. That's self-determination. Like I created this whole reality from my own mind. I said, "This is what I can do. And this is what I want to do. And this is what I will do." And I did it. So I always tell people, follow your mind, follow your heart, follow your thoughts. That's that's number one support you can have. There's no support that is as great as your own wonderful divine human imagination. If you can imagine anything, you can be that thing. And the worst thing is both good and bad. If you can imagine bad things, you can also attract those bad things to your life. If you can imagine good things, you can attract those good things in your life. So I always say this with the imagination, all things are possible.
You are a boxer. Now, if you're not boxing, if you're not in the race, if you're not training, what do you do for leisure?
For leisure, I read books, I'm a stockbroker, I break the stock market, man. I can tell you I'm the king of stock market. If I tell you go buy, I can give you a stock now, say go buy that stock. That can change your life. But there's also risk. So I wouldn't say I wouldn't give people stock and say go buy. I'm a stockbroker. That's what I really do. I like my leisure time. I always go for mountain climbing. Boat riding, swimming. All those like trail walking. I love animals. I like being in the bush, study animals, study nature. Those are like the kind of things I like to do.
Wow, interesting. Now, when it comes to athletes, we know that they are out to have these scandals like drug use, stuff like that. So, have you ever had any scandal so far in your career as a professional boxer? Or you, drugs and tested and we found some drug use? And have you had any kind of scandal?
No. Bro, I don't even take a Panadol or ibuprofen or whatever. Like, hey, I just told you I eat only nature. How can I take drugs? I eat only nature. When I'm sick, I sleep and I get well. I don't take medicine. I don't eat artificial nothing. I'm afraid of the lab. Anything that comes from the lab to enhance my performance, I've never. Even my wife would tell me, "My wife said you don't take protein shake. Every athlete take protein." I like almonds. I just eat normal food and I go training. I've never took drugs my whole life. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know their names. Okay. If I see a drug, I don't even know what it looks like. I just hear, a fighter got banned for this, that, or fighter test positive. I don't even know what that is. I've never taken drugs in my whole life. Never had standard. Of course, I have a lot of haters. People, there are haters out there. People hate you for one or two reasons. People are jealous of you. People want to destroy your image. People want to destroy your effort and stuff like that. But the reality is this: anybody who's trying to destroy you have already destroyed themselves. Like you can't give what you don't have. If anybody is trying to destroy me, I already know they destroyed themselves. And that's the only reason they're trying to destroy me, because if you cannot destroy yourself, you cannot destroy me. People speak ill about me, negative stuff about me. Of course, people always try to do that on the internet. I will have a brother who changed his voice and try to speak crazy about me on the internet. And so people do all those crazy things, bro. It's really not my business. I don't care about what people say about me. I don't care about what people think about me. I don't care about how people feel about me. That's on them. I only care about what I think about myself and how I feel about myself and what I'm going to do.
now you are a professional boxers, and we know boxers they travel a lot to different countries and all that. So how do you combine your boxing and your family? Do you actually have time for your family? How do you combine the two?
I have a wife. I don't have kids. So that's it. I just have a wife. My wife travels with me everywhere I go.
That's good. Now, for people that are looking up to you, people that want to dive into the boxing as a profession.
Believe in yourself. 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 Believe in your dream. Believe in your imagination. Believe in your thoughts. Believe in your thoughts. Believe. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dream. Believe in your thoughts. Believe in your thinking. You sit down quietly, think about only positive stuff, think about only good stuff, and believe in those things, and that's how you get it. There's no other way. There is no other way. Believe in yourself. Believe in your thoughts. Believe in your imagination. Believe in your thinking. Feel good about all the good things you think. And that's the only way. There's no other way. I don't have any advice because what works for this guy may not work for this guy, but I tell you, imagination works for everybody. Food may work for these people, and that same food may not work for this guy. This training may work for this guy, and that training may not work for this guy. But believe me, imagination works for everybody. So, as for the next generation who I'm trying to inspire, I tell them, believe in your thoughts, believe in your thinking, and feel good about them. And that is the only way they can become a reality. There is no other way. I don't know any other way. There might be other ways, but I don't know any other way apart from believing in your own thoughts, your own thinking, your dreams. Anything you believe, you can achieve. Anything you can imagine, you can achieve. Back then, our grandparents used to say, anything where I not see, God not creator. And you know what that means? It means anything you cannot imagine, you cannot experience.
Now, like I did say, in my talk, I want to just chip in now about this mindset that boxers are natural, beaters. I mean, even if they are not, they just beat people anyhow. I want to confirm that from you. Is that actually true, or just professional one?
No, we only fight in the ring. Why would you fight outside? I don't. Since I became a boxer, I never fought outside. Because think about it. You don't get checked when you fight outside. You get in trouble. When you fight in the ring, you get checked, you get promotion, you get sponsorship and all that. But when you fight outside, you get in trouble. So why you want to fight outside? I don't really think boxers, athletes don't fight outside. Like combat sport athletes don't fight outside. I hardly see anyone who. I don't even lose my temper. It's hard. How? Who can do that? So that's really not true. If you are a boxer and you fight outside and you make trouble outside and you lose your temper, you will never be a champion. There's no two ways about it.
Okay, now that next question I want to ask before wrap it up on this interview. Now the name Nigerian Pitbull. How did that name come to play?
Oh, my friend, just for my friend. Sammy Young was the first guy who called me Nigerian Pitbull because he watched one of my fights and he said, "Hey, you are just a Pitbull." And I really say yes, and he started calling me the Nigerian Pitbull, and that name stuck with me, and that's okay. So I put it on my box check as the Nigerian Pitbull. But I'm thinking right now, I have to change it to the Nigerian Prince. Who knows? Maybe my next fight, I might just come back with AKA the Nigerian Prince.
Okay.
And that's what everybody will know. But yeah, my friends call me Nigerian Pitbull because they said I fight like a Pitbull.
That's amazing. Well, it's been a great conversation with you today.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
I must say thank you so much for your time, for finding time to join us live here. And
thank you very much.
This interview. And we hope when we call the next time, you answer our call for the next interview.
Of course. I'm always here. Thank you very much. I'm extremely pleased to be with you guys today. God bless you.
All right, guys, it's been a great fun to be here on Desitdown Sports. Keep it to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe on our YouTube channel. So see you next time for another amazing guest right here at Desitdown Sports exclusive. My name is Michael Young. Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget follow us for more content.